I just want to go to a place where there's just community, there's just some fun, there's just some hot chocolate, some cookies, whatever that can be. Show me that in your ads, because that's where I want to go.
Hey, we need to talk.
Welcome to the Church Communications Group podcast, where we help church leaders find clarity, confidence, and connection in their communications. I'm Kim, General Manager of the Church Communications Group, joined by my co-host and friend, Zac.
Every Tuesday, we'll bring you fresh insights on what's happening in church communications. We promise to keep it real around here. Expect authentic conversations, practical advice, and definitely a few laughs along the way.
In each episode, we'll also share a valuable resource to help you grow in your church communications, leadership skills, and honestly, just life as well. So whether you're a seasoned communications director or just starting out, there's something here for you.
Now, get ready to learn, grow, and connect as we open up the conversation in today's episode of Hey, We Need to Talk.
Welcome back to Hey, We Need to Talk. Today is another one of our Christmas episodes. So today we're joined by Garrett, who you've seen on the podcast multiple times. He's like going for the winter vibe. He's got that flannel. He's got that nice, what do you got? I call it a beanie. Is that what you guys call it?
We call it
Some
beanies.
People,
not everybody calls them beanies.
No, the other word is like toboggan.
Toboggan. Yeah. Toboggan. What is it? I don't know.
All the boggins. Me, I'm wearing like, I'm feeling the beach weather with some sort of, palm tree with some Christmas lights on it. And then we also have a special guest today, Nick. If you do not see Nick right now, you need to pause the podcast for just a minute. Go over to YouTube so you make sure you get a visual, because not only is he dressed in your traditional Christmas sweater, he's got some lights hanging around him, and he's got this he's already decorated for Christmas. His house is already
you guys
decorated.
Are behind. Yeah.
Yeah. His house is already decorated for Christmas. So guys, we're going to be talking today about Christmas advertising. What are some of the different channels that you guys recommend using for Christmas advertising?
When I'm trying to get people to an event on church or on campus, I definitely think Google is a good investment because Google owns Google Maps, and it's easy for them to run ads that are connected to your Google account. So whenever it's a physical location, I'm trying to get people to come on campus. I'm thinking I really want to focus on, geo-targeting people in my community, my neighborhood, and want to do that through Google searches, because that's what we use. And we want to find where something is, or directions for something, or the hours of a location. And so it just kind of makes sense for Christmas Eve. I think Google's a big, obviously big platform to use. It is the platform to use if you want to reach a little younger. I'm not going to lie. So the younger people are on Google. The trends that we see are a lot of older people are on Facebook, but it's good to hit both worlds. You hit both the older, both of the younger, you get both of those things.
Even Nick, you brought up Google search. That's going to be a great platform for people that are actively looking for churches in during that Christmas season. So they could be Googling things of churches near me, and you show up as a sponsored ad, even Christmas services. But a huge other audience that we're trying to reach for Christmas is people that don't have a church and may not even be looking for another church. And that's where Google Display is a huge help, because Google Display is on 90% of all websites. When you're like scrolling through a website and you see a little ad there, it's like a random picture. That's a Google Display ad. They also show up on on websites, apps, games on your phone. With the video, they become a YouTube ad. And the cool thing about Google Display is that they are interruptive ads. So you don't have to be searching for anything. They just show up. So that's a great way to really build some community and build awareness based around your church, is they just show up as people are just browsing the web and browsing the internet. They just show up there. We also mentioned Facebook. Facebook, that audience, we've talked about this last month with social media. The primary audience you're going to be getting is mom and grandmom, which is great because they're the ones that help us make the plans for Christmas. So that's a great targeting aspect there too. What kind of ads and what do you think has made those Google Display or those Facebook ads super successful for the churches that you have seen?
So I think to make them super successful, obviously, we can talk about
campaign this, campaign that, and ad copy this, ad copy that. I think it really dials down to your photos. That's how you really, you can geo-target a certain area, 20-mile radius, 50-mile radius, zip codes, whatever. We do all that. But I think it really narrows down to your photos.
Yeah, that's great, Nick. Here's the thing about Christmas is it's like this Christian holiday that all culture just loves to celebrate and wants to be a part of. And so like in all of my ads, I think Christmas is the one I lean into most of like, this is going to be it's going to remind you of your childhood of going to Christmas Eve services. Our church doesn't it's not super liturgical, but these ads, these photos and videos are the ones where I'm showing people lighting candles. I'm showing people, singing Christmas carols. I'm showing, images of people around the Christmas tree outside on our church. And so I'm trying to evoke that, hey, maybe you haven't attended church in a while, but you're thinking about attending church on Christmas Eve because Christmas Eve brings all these good memories of growing up as a kid and going to church with your parents and grandparents. You can have some of that experience here at our church. So that's what I like to aim for.
People are going to see that more, what Garrett just said. They're going to want to see that community feel, that family feel, because everything's so serious now. Everything's so political in all that ways. People are going to want to come down there and just say, I just want to go to a place where there's just community. There's just some fun. There's just some hot chocolate, some cookies, whatever that can be. Show me that in your ads, because that's where I want to go. I don't want to go to something so serious because I've had enough of it,
Yeah. That's a good cultural awareness is like a lot of the times our ads, when we take inspiration from other churches, we end up boxing ourselves in of what we just are used to doing. So like that cultural awareness goes a long way. Some of the ads that I've seen that are the most effective is in the ad copy is a lot of times we end up putting all of our Christmas services in the ad copy. So basically they're saying, join us for Christmas and a list of all the opportunities. But when you switch that ad copy to be family centric, be like, join us for Christmas at East Side Church. We have this is a time of making memories for your family. What that does is that begins to pull people in even more and realize like, no, this is actually for me. And you know what? It also incentivizes them to click because like if they have all the information just like sitting right here, why would they click your ad? So
exactly.
Making sure that there's some sort of leading in there and some sort of leaning into the cultural norm of what Christmas has become in America of family, of reminiscence actually does go a long way too.
Yeah. So one of the things that we like to keep in mind when we're doing our Christmas campaign is that we work with Missional Marketing and they do a great job running ads, and we're going to get thousands of website visitors to our church website. It's my job to make sure that the Christmas Eve services landing page is on point, right? Like if they click on a Christmas ad and it just takes you to your church homepage and you're not even mentioning Christmas Eve because you started running the ads on November 3rd and you didn't get the website up, that's not good. The goal is they click the ad, they get to this really, really well thought out Christmas Eve landing page. And, Missional Marketing can help with that too, make a landing page. But yeah, it's your job to make it feel like your church. It's your job to make it have all the right information. You don't have to squeeze all the information in the ad, like you were just saying. Like they can click on it. But one thing that we realized, especially after the first couple of years of running ads for Christmas, is like we had all these visitors, and maybe some came to the Christmas Eve service. But how can we capitalize on the fact that they landed on our webpage? And so the last couple of years, we've been trying to do, the industry would call it lead generation. We've been trying to capture some of these people's email or information because maybe they don't visit, they're just checking us out. And how do you do that? People have different ways to do that, but our way is to offer them something of value. So we've landed on something the last couple of years as like a family Christmas Advent devotional, or like a Christmas workbook that's got coloring pages and recipes and things like that. This really fun way to help people connect with Christmas. Something that we've seen is a lot of parents like wanting to bring in, even if maybe they don't go to church a lot, bring in some of those Christian elements to Christmas. And so we've had little call to actions like, teach your kids about the real meaning of Christmas. Download this, Christmas activity book. And it's got coloring pages and things like that. And so the goal is, even if they don't come to our Christmas Eve service, we've given them something of value. and maybe we've captured their email address and some of their information, and we can email them about their Christmas Eve services. And one thing we're going to do is in a few months, we're going to be emailing them about our Easter service coming up, whether they visited us or not. Now we know we've got some information that we can let them know, some more opportunities they can come to attend our church.
Yeah, Garrett, that's a good point with lead generation. And the value is we end up getting a name and an email address. And sometimes that frustration is like, oh, well, we got all these names and these email addresses and they never came to Christmas service. Lead generation is a really good long-term strategy for us because you even referenced it. Number one, when we're providing basically material like, hey, here's stuff to do with your kids, it's showing that we are for the family unit and we care about the family unit, and that helps build our reputation. But now we have the names and email addresses of parents and grandparents. So yeah, we're going to invite them to Easter for sure. But I also want to introduce them that, hey, we have a kids ministry for you as well. Hey, we have youth ministry that your teenager can go to. And then even something like mom, we have mom's group for you, or we have small groups and marriage small groups. So we already know the audience that we're capturing based off the content of the lead generation. And now that gives us some long-term to be able to really build connection and create some value there. What is your favorite free advertising for Christmas?
Yeah, so I've been telling clients to ultimately create on Facebook, right? That's the most easiest thing that people go, create an event page on there and promote it there. You can easily create an event page, put all of your Christmas things on there, have all of your church members like promote it in service or something like that. Have all of your church members go and say that they're attending, like say that they're going. This will act as a boost. And ultimately, that's the most free thing that you can do on Facebook to really kind of promote your Christmas services, have people say they're coming, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost free. So Zac, you can tell me it doesn't count. You know, people like getting for Christmas, they like getting Christmas cards. So I don't know if mailers are dead. They probably are. But if there's any time that mailers might work, it might be around Christmas. What if you designed a really pretty church Christmas card that kind of looks like maybe, something that family member would send, and you invite your neighbors, the homes closest to your church, invited them to your Christmas Eve service with a really nice, maybe a handwritten letter from your staff. Maybe it's just a couple hundred, because they're your neighbors and they know you as a church. They know you're going to be doing Christmas Eve services, and they're part of your community, and you'd love to see them there.
Yes, that does count, Garrett. Maybe a little bit of money there. So I'll give like 1.5 options. So number one option I would say is your Google Business Profile. Make sure that you're setting up an event in Google Business Profile, because what ends up happening is as people are searching for things such as Christmas events near me, Christmas services near me, that will actually show up at the top of the search. So make sure that all of your Christmas activities that are outward focused, so that could be your candlelight service, your Christmas Eve service, it could be any of the outreach stuff that you are doing. Make sure that you are adding that into the Google Business Profile for searchability. The other thing, and definitely the most important thing, the best way to advertise your Christmas services is by word of mouth. This is a great time to get people together and get your friends and your family together to enjoy service. It's a time of reflection. It's a time of celebration. And so equipping your people and encouraging your congregants to be able to invite their friends and family to service, that's where you're really going to be able to see the value and the best advertising, is because nobody likes to come to church more than when they're invited. Personally, we always have digital advertising and we have mailers and handouts that we give out, and those are great at laying the foundation, but what really is going to make a difference is that personal touch and that personal invitation. So the best advertising for Christmas is your people.
Hey, we need to talk.
Thanks for tuning into the Hey, We Need to Talk podcast. We hope today's episode has equipped you with insights and strategies to enhance your church communications efforts.
Remember, we're here every Tuesday with fresh content to keep you up to date on what's happening in church communications. If you found value in today's discussion, we'd love for you to join us again next week by clicking the follow button wherever you listen to podcasts.
And hey, you're a part of this conversation too. So if there's a topic you'd like to talk about, make sure to leave a comment in the episode and on social media.
For more resources or just to set up a call with any one of our team members, head over to churchcommunications.com and check out our free online learning platform, CC+, where you can access a wealth of additional resources to support your church communications journey.
We're Zac and Kim, and from all of us here at Church Communications Group, we're looking forward to helping you find clarity, confidence, and connection in your church communications.